I'm Heyzeus, and in this video we're going to be scraping all the different team stickers from the Boston E-League Major to see if we can create some fake Katowice 2014 stickers. My method is going to be pretty simple. I've got an AK redline with a decent float. I'm just going to be scraping them until sort of all the background's gone and then looking at them in game. So it's 24 stickers to go through. Let's get into it. So first up we've got the 100 Thieves sticker, which I guess is sort of a newcomer sticker. I don't know how well it's going to go. But if we start scraping it, so we go 1 scrape, 2 scrape, 3 scrapes, 4 scrapes, 5 scrapes, 6 scrapes. By 6 it's sort of mostly disappeared, and if we go for one more, it's just about perfect. So I think this one turned out okay. Unfortunately you can't sort of see the red outline, but still I think we got rid of most of it without damaging the logo itself. So next up we've got Astralis, team that needs some introduction. The sticker isn't too much different from some of the Astralis stickers in the past, but Astralis stickers in the past have been a very successful investment. So if we start scraping it, we go once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. 5 times it's mostly gone. If we go for a 6th time, as you can see there's only a little bit of mesh left there. You could go for a 7th if you wanted, but I think that'll damage the sticker more than it'll clear out the background. So let's have a look at this one in game. So as you can see, you can still make out the outline of the sticker. You may just have to make a decision about whether you want to compromise the condition of the logo itself to get rid of that. And the thing is too, if your gun has a higher float, I don't know if it necessarily look bad if the sticker's a little bit scratched. I may experiment with that at some other point and see how that turns out. But anyway, so the next sticker is Avangar. I might be mispronouncing that, I apologise if I am. Okay, sticker. If we go to scrape it, so we go once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. 6 times it looks almost perfect. There's a little bit of scratching going on the sticker itself, but otherwise I think that turned out really well. And if we look at it in game, I think that turned out pretty well. There's almost none of the sort of the edge of the background visible. I think that is a very nice sticker if you scrape it. So next up we have Big, which is a team that in my opinion has a very cool logo. If we start scratching it, go 1 scratch, 2 scratch, 3 scratches, 4 scratches, 5 scratches, 6 scratches. 6 scratches, there's just some black mesh left behind, so on a skin like this it probably doesn't matter. But if we give it one more, as you can see it goes away completely, and I think that's really nice. And yeah, if we look at it in game, looks almost perfect in my opinion. There's a little bit of an outline, but still, I think that one turned out really well. Okay, next up, Cloud9, a sticker which I suspect is going to go fairly well because, you know, it's Cloud9. So if we start scraping it, so we go once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. There's still a bit left, so if we hit it a 6th time, yeah, that's still pretty bad. 7th time it started to scratch the sticker and there's still some stuff in the background. So if we hit it an 8th time, should get rid of the rest of the background. Yeah, it did, but the sticker's fairly damaged, so I think this one is going to be a compromise, unfortunately. So yeah, it looks like this will be a compromise between having a clean background and having a clean team logo, which sucks a bit, but oh well, I think lots of them are going to sell anyway. So next up we have Faze. I like the logo, it's just plain red. I think it looks slightly better that way. If we start scraping it, we get once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. 5, there's just that sort of flaky stuff in the background. On the 6th time it's mostly gone, and if we go for one more scratch, you can see it's almost completely gone, and that looks fucking fabulous actually. No outline left behind from the rest of the sticker, the logo is completely intact. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think the sticker might be a winner. So next up is Flipside, and if we start scraping it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. By 6 times there's only really a little bit left around the center of the sticker, and if we hit it for a 7th time, it should go away completely, as you can see, but it does scratch the rest of the sticker a bit. Not too bad, but still a bit. I mean, I think it looks okay like this, but as long as you've got a dark background on the skin, I don't think it's worth going for that final scrape. I think you can just sit with 6, and you could barely see the stuff left in the center on it. Next up, Fnatic. I like how you've got the Fnatic logo at the bottom of the sticker. It makes it look more like a Kato 2014 in my opinion, but it doesn't mean it's going to scrape well. So if we start scratching it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. 6 times it's mostly gone. There's still a bit left there though, so if we hit it a 7th time, it should go away completely, and as you can see, works out almost perfectly. So yeah, I reckon that one turned out really well. I reckon a scraped Fnatic foil would look really, really sick. Next up's G2. Now, in all honesty, I'd preferred the white version of this logo more, but I can see where they're coming from, and I'm sure there's a whole nation full of people who disagree with me for quite understandable reasons. But if we start scratching it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. So by the 6th time, there is still quite a bit of mesh behind it, but just because it's grey, it's blended in almost perfectly with the red line. But I think if we give it one more scratch, it'll probably go completely. So if we do that, yeah, as you can see, almost perfect at this point. It's slightly scratched, but I think that turned out really well. And if we look at it in a game, like, I mean, that's almost perfect. I don't think it really comes much better than that. Next up, we've got the reigning major champions, which still feels weird to say. I'm still slightly stunned they won that major. Nonetheless, if we start scratching it, we go once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. So by 6 times, you can't really see it on this sticker, but I think the background will still stand out quite a bit on another sticker. So I think we can do it one more time, and hopefully it won't scratch the main logo. As you can see, that worked out almost perfectly. If we look at it in game, as you can see, there's a little bit of the outline. You can see it's still there, but otherwise I think it's more or less perfect. Obviously the colours blend in quite well on a red line. It might not work quite as well on brighter guns, but I think that one turned out pretty well. So next up is Misfits. I don't think this one's going to work very well just because of how small the logo is, but if we start scratching it, so as you can see, once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. On the 6th time, obviously still a lot of background there, so hit it once and more, and most of it goes away, but I think it's really going to take an 8th to get rid of it all, but that may start to fuck up the sticker itself. So if you go through an 8th, yeah, the sticker's fucked. Not even going to bother checking that one out in game. This one doesn't work. Next up, Navi. Obviously a iconic sticker in a Counter-Strike Majors. So if we start scratching this one, go once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. 5 times it looks almost perfect. I think a lot of the stuff underneath is being obscured by the logo, but if we hit it one more time, it should look about perfect. Yeah, look at that. See? Fucking spot on. Let's check that one out in game. Yeah, see, look at that. The logo is completely intact. There's almost no outline from the rest of the sticker. That one's really, really good. So next up is North, which is a pretty sick sticker in my opinion. So if we start scratching it, so 1 scratch, 2 scratches, 3 scratches, 4, 5. 5, there's only a little bit of mesh left, but if you give it one more, that's just about perfect. Unfortunately, there is still a bit of an outline of the sticker left, which I don't think you can really get rid of without damaging the sticker itself. So that's a bit of a pity, but still think it turned out fairly well. So next up is Renegades, where we scrape it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. 6 times it's almost completely gone. So on a skin like this, you probably won't notice, but if it's a brighter skin, you'll probably want to hit it one more time. And if you do, it still turns out, yeah, it looks pretty much perfect, really. And so yeah, if we look at it in game, as you can see, it's basically perfect. The whole logo is there, it's not scratched, there's nothing behind it. It's pretty much as good as it gets. Fills me with patriotic pride, though not as much as the Kato 15s. I mean, check this shit out, that shit's dope. So next up, Mouz. I don't really know what to say about this other than let's give it a scrape, so let's do that. So you go once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. So there's a bit of a diamond left there. 6 times gets rid of most of that, but I think it really needs one more to get rid of it properly. So if we do that, yeah, it damages the logo, so it's a bit of a compromise, I guess. I think this one's only really going to work on a dark background, otherwise you've got to tear off part of the logo to get it to actually have a blank background. And obviously in-game, a damaged sticker doesn't look that great normally, and this one doesn't either, so it's a bit of a disappointment. Okay, so next up is Envious. If we start scraping it, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 6 gets rid of most of it, but if we do it one more time, yeah, that gets rid of the rest. So it looks like 7 is the right number. Okay, so it left more of an outline than I would have liked, which is a bit disappointing, but I guess that's an apt metaphor for Envious as a team, after all. So, not the best, and I think one more scratch might damage the sticker, so that's a bit of a pity. Guess that one doesn't work too well. Okay, so next up, SK, scrap it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. So there's still a fair bit of stuff there. If you get one more scrap, I think it might damage the logo a little bit. So if we scrap it a 7th time, yeah, it did damage the logo a bit, but still, that's alright. Let's check it out in game. Okay, so it turned out a bit damaged, which I think sucks a bit because it's a white skin and it stands out a bit more, but I think you can get away with like one less scrape if it's on a red line or something, because the background of the skin is the same color as the red line itself, so you won't notice it quite as much. Okay, so next up is Space Soldiers, which I think they have a very cool logo. It's just a bit unfortunate they haven't done that much as a team, because otherwise I reckon it'd be just as iconic as Astralis or something like that. But anyway, if we start scraping it, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so there's a bit of black left there, but I think I could do one more. So if we give it a 6 scrape, yeah, that looks like it turned out perfectly. Yeah, so that turned out a treat. It doesn't mesh very well with the red line, it's not the right colour for it, but still, it's a nice clean yellow logo. I think it's pretty good. Okay, so next up is the Sprout sticker, which is another entirely new sticker to the Major, which I guess makes the name kind of fitting. But if we start scraping it, so we go once, twice, 2, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. So up to 5, there's still quite a bit of black. So if we hit it for a 6th time, and it's still got a bit showing through just because of the way it's designed. There's big holes in it, obviously. So if we hit it a 7th time, yeah, there's still a bit of black there. It won't matter on a black skin like this, but to get rid of it, I think we need to hit it for an 8th time, which, yeah, as you can see, scratches a little bit, although not too bad. Let's see what it looks like in game. Okay, so that turned out better than I was expecting, to be honest. It's still obviously visibly scratched, but I was expecting a lot worse after an 8th scratch. I wonder if they designed that with that in mind. But anyway, let's go on to the next sticker. Okay, so next up is Tyloo, which is already looking kind of like it's going to be a smash hit of a sticker. So if we start scraping it, so we go once, twice, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. So after 5 times, it's looking pretty good. There's still a bit of black there. So if you give it one more scrape, yeah, that gets rid of most of it. There's still a little bit though. If it's a brighter skin, you might want to give it an extra hit, which I think I might try now. This might damage the sticker, but yeah, damage the sticker. But still, so I think maybe 7 is better than 8. So yeah, I'm sure that 8 scrape would make it fit in very nicely with a well-worn or battle-scarred gun or something like that. But yeah, I think 7 would have been better, particularly on a black skin like that, since the background that was left was sort of black and red. And so your red line is black and red, so it fits in well. So next up we have the Ninja Murdering Shark. So if you start scraping it, so once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times. Yeah, 7 times gets rid of most of it. There's still a little bit of residue around there. It doesn't matter on this skin, but I thought we should give it an 8 scratch to see what happens. So if we do that, it gets rid of it, but it does damage the logo a little bit. So I guess there's a bit of a compromise there. I mean, I imagine you're going to be putting this on like a dark blue skin, so it probably won't matter too much, but 8, 7, it's up to you, I guess. So our final sticker, the Dad's Team sticker, which I mean entirely endearingly, by the way. If we start scraping it, so we go once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. Okay, so there's still quite a bit of stuff there from the background, so it's going to need one more scrape. So if we do that, yeah, that looks like it cleaned out most of it. It's a little bit scratched, but still not too bad. Okay, so unfortunately it turned out to have a bit more of an outline and be a bit more scratched than I would have liked, but still, it is VP, people are going to buy heaps of these, it's a cool team, and everyone loves VP. So, that's all the stickers. Thanks very much for watching, I appreciate every single view. Please like, comment, subscribe. Trust the numbers, not your gut. I'm Heyzeus. Thanks for watching, see ya.